I have a team of people. Everybody who works for me right now are men. I've noticed if I hire someone and they're female, I have to be careful about how I talk to them, even giving criticism. And maybe it's me, but I feel like I have to be a little bit nicer, a little bit more gentler. Whereas with a dude, I can be like, can you just not do this again? And they're like, yeah, no problem, won't do it again. But if it's female, I'm like, okay, you did like this a little bit wrong. Here's how to do it a little bit better. Overall, you're doing a great job. Everything's fine. Please don't be upset.
Could we talk for a moment about Me Too? You've rejected the idea that we should always believe the victim in a rape.
Well, that's
accusation.
obvious. That's
yes.
what happened in the lynch cases in the 1950s in the United States. The victim was always believed.
Yes, and I was going to say that's fair enough. But why not accept the situation as being the victim deserves to be treated as if she's telling the truth in our attempts to get at the truth, and in doing that, we do our best not to re-victimize her.
Because that isn't how the adversarial system works, and I don't think
But
that we
why
have
not advocate for that?
Because the adversarial system is a very effective judicial system, and it's certainly the case that among crimes that are falsely reported, rape crimes are at the top of the list. So there is no believing the victim. There's no reason for people to assume that when they enter the criminal justice system that they're going to be treated with kid gloves or treated easily. That isn't how it works.
Maybe you just think that women should be equally represented in the decision-making fora of our nation.
Well, I do believe that women should have... I don't understand your question, I guess.
I guess you don't. That's pretty obvious, unfortunately.
Well, how about if you phrase it more clearly, instead of just insulting me? Let's talk about quotas for a minute. There's a very wide array of jobs that are fundamentally done by men. 99.9% of bricklayers are men. Should we have quotas for women?
Is bricklaying representative democracy?
That has nothing to do with the question. The question is if there's evidence of structural inequality and oppression because women aren't precisely represented at 50% in all professions at all levels, then why don't we have a conversation about having women represented in all professions at all levels? Well, why do we talk about the C-suite, for example? Why do we talk about politics and positions of power?
Ever had absolutely the delight of having stabbed with inside the lower back through a colleague with a bogus allegation? If you're a guy, there's a terrific danger the wrongdoer turned into a girl co-worker. Welcome to the twisted sport of workplace roulette that guys are compelled to play all through their careers. You by no means realize whilst the subsequent baseless accusation will come hurtling your manor. Just any other interesting bankruptcy with inside the infinite saga of place of business drama every time girls are involved. Dealing with girls at work? It's like navigating a minefield of harm emotions and drama. Point out something they did incorrect, and boom. All of a sudden, you're the horrific guy tiptoeing around their sensitive emotions. But with guys, it's refreshingly sincere. You inform them what's up, they renowned it, and everybody actions on. No theatrics, no emotional roller coasters, only a easy, no-nonsense alternative feedback. Funny how that works.
Having a meeting with a group of guys several years ago about never being alone with another woman, and this one guy said, hey bro, in my job, and I know a lot of you guys are thinking the same thing, hey bro, in my job I have to be alone with women. I'm like, no bro, you don't. This guy 6 months later confessed to having an affair with this woman the entire time he was telling us he had no choice.
Did you know 60% of male managers say they are uncomfortable working alone with a woman out of fear of complaints of sexual harassment? Women in the workplace. Men, do not avoid working with women because you're afraid of sexual harassment complaints. That is gender discrimination. To avoid sexual harassment complaints, do not sexually harass people. Period.
This is hilarious due to the fact guys aren't scared out of a few mystery preference to bother girls in peace. They're scared due to the fact even an ordinary interplay can get twisted into an accusation. False accusations have come to be the boogeyman in each guy's closet, making them cautious of even the maximum harmless interactions with girls. The worry of being unjustly categorized a creep or harasser looms like a darkish cloud, prepared to rain on their careers and lives. Now guys are caught second-guessing each word, each glance, terrified that an easy false impression ought to explode right into a profession-finishing disaster. This paranoia has pushed a few guys to keep away from girls altogether, due to the fact why thread it while self-renovation is the more secure bet. It's an unhappy day, whilst actual connections and teamwork are sacrificed at the altar of ability fake allegations. And allows now no longer forget, in terms of interacting with girls, the drama degrees can skyrocket to mythical heights. Try giving a lady a few optimistic criticism, and all of a sudden you're stuck in a whirlwind of harm emotions and melodramatic reactions. It's like tiptoeing through a minefield of emotions, hoping now no longer to cause a full-blown meltdown. But with guys, it's the exceptional story. You factor out a mistake, they nod, perhaps even thank you, and it's over. No drama, no tough emotions, only a sincere alternate and everybody actions on. Funny how that works.
If I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. If you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce, only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me, because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So if you're a guy, right, in this society, in this Me Too environment, in this litigation-rich environment of misogyny and sexism and all of these claims, what is the value add? What's the risk? You know, the benefit and the risk. I can't do the analysis and say, I'd just be like, no, I'm just not hiring anyone. Give me all the men.
Earlier this year, I had the displeasure of dealing with a female coworker harassing a male coworker. A male subordinate comes to me to report the female subordinate. She decided that she wanted his opinion on fellatio techniques. She asked him because he's openly gay. I went with him to HR to report. HR calls everyone involved to get their side. At this point, the female employee realizes the male employee snitched and begins bad-mouthing him. HR hands down punishment based on zero tolerance policy. 3 days unpaid suspension for the male victim, but only 1 day unpaid suspension to the female employee because she's pregnant and we can't cause too many problems. The male employee came back from suspension with legal representation. The female employee came back, and all the male employees avoided her and any situation where they would need to be alone with a female employee.
Let's be actual. Guys claiming they haven't any desire, however, to interact with girls? That's nonsense. There's constantly a desire. Whether it is at work, in social settings, or private relationships, guys can determine simply how a good deal interplay they are inclined to have. It's now no longer fate. It's a desire. So, drop the reasons and personal as much as it. In the place of business, guys want to get a grip and steer clean of ability drama. False accusations? They're like landmines prepared to explode your profession with one incorrect step. Meanwhile, allow the drama queens stir the pot all they want. They are able to stew of their personal poisonous mess. The clever move? Keep your distance, keep away from pointless conflict, and allow them to spiral on their personal. Sometimes, the nice manner to win the sport of workplace politics is to refuse to play it. And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.